Welcome everybody to Quake Pro League. My name is Freya and I am sitting down today with newly qualified player Cypher from Navi. So let's kick things off by discussing the Stage 1 finals at Luca Comics and Games. Your route to the semi-finals was one of the most talked about things after Luca. How did you prepare for the tournament and did you feel like your opponents underestimated your form?
From one side, I think they can underestimate me because they didn't see me for a long time on the competitive scene. From the other side, I think they know and they remember who I am, so I can't say so for sure. But how I was practicing for about 8 weeks, I would say, because Challenger started like 8 weeks before the Luca, 9 weeks. And before each tournament but one, I practiced. And I managed to get my shape back, and even better, I started to play even better because I started to understand more things, and especially with the new time limit mode, it's more natural for me because I'm from Quake Live, so it gives me some advantage, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, specifically focusing on your game against Garpy, which was one of the closest games played at the event. What was going through your mind during that game 5 that was decided by one single frag?
At this moment you don't really think about what is going on, or you just play your game and you try to focus first of all on the game, and you don't really think about about anything. But what I was thinking about after second loss, like when I lost the second map and I knew that I need to win this thing, I need to win 3 in a row, and at this specific second it seems like it's not possible. But then every minute I was getting stronger. At some point I was lucky to win first map, then I was lucky to win second map, and on last map I wasn't thinking about any bad things, like that I lost first 2 maps or he's playing really good or something like that. I was just trying to focus on my game, and luckily I managed to finish it off with good result. Yeah, I can't say much. I mean, the first thoughts was that after the second map, on the third map, he was doing a lot more different moves that didn't give him a lot of advantage. Yeah. As he did on the first 2 maps, because on the first 2 maps he played exactly like he should to play against me, and I wasn't really ready for such fights, I would say. And on third map he started to react differently on my moves. So I think that like together these things make him lose and me win.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, coming into week 1 of stage 2, you're going to be playing against Kilson. What are your thoughts coming into that matchup?
Not much thoughts. We already make the maps and champs, and I don't know, I'm pretty satisfied with my pick, even though it doesn't look really default with what used to play. In the same time, I know that if I'll manage to win all of my opponents in online stage, I will be able to actually top the ladder. So I will try my best to do so, like no matter what. And it doesn't matter who I'm gonna play. Like Kilson, it's gonna be like Cooler, Razy, Avec, Hron. Doesn't matter.
Speaking of the other 9 players you're going to be facing this stage, which matchups are you most excited for, and which do you think are going to be the most tough?
The most tough, I think, gonna be against Cooler. I think so. The most exciting, I think this one against Kilson is the most exciting for me because I'm starting my way in the Pro League and it's my first match, and I wanted to start it with a good note.
Do you kind of see yourself as a bit of an underdog coming into stage 2, as this is your sort of first appearance?
Yeah, and yes and no at the same time. I think people already understand that I managed to fight for top spots, but at the same time in the same time, internet conditions is a bit different than LAN conditions, and I used to play much worse on internet than on LAN, and people used to know me, how I play, and they don't really, I think, scare that much as in Quake Live, for example.
Yeah, I mean, have you set yourself any goals for this stage, and where do you see yourself realistically finishing in Katowice at the end of this stage?
Yeah, as I said, my main goal, and just in general, I'm thinking about climbing to the top of the ladder, and then to prove it in Katowice. Even though it's getting really hard for me to get to get into such game to be top one, but at the same time I'm really thinking a lot about it, and I'm really looking forward to make it possible, even though that it's really hard and it's so many great players around. And first place always for me is the only way and the only aim I'm looking for, always in every game, in every situation, I guess. Even though that even if I'm not in the best conditions for that, I still can think that I can do that.
Did you play against any opponents that you feel we should look out for during Stage 2 Challenger that we may see in the promotion and relegation games in Katowice?
From what I know, that I think that maybe I misunderstood something, but I heard Agent was unbanned and he gonna play challengers. Then there is people like Silencep, Sirius might come back, Garpy, Hell, Russians, lots of them is pretty good. I think these challengers will be much more interesting than the first one. I'm pretty much sure, because there is so much more competitive in it than it was in the first one.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Cypher, and good luck in your games this week.
Thanks.